What's going on, everyone? We got some major updates in regards to the Ja Morant investigation. Adam Silver's yesterday, before the whole NBA Finals began, was interviewed and asked some questions about Ja Morant. Adam Silver responded with, we've uncovered a fair amount of additional information, which is not good for Ja Morant, right? So he is right now in trouble once again for something that happened like 2 months ago and brandishing a weapon, a firearm on IG, as well as just acting a fool and doing a bunch of other stuff, right? He was in a Denver nightclub, holding up guns, throwing them, just doing stuff that is bad image-wise for the NBA. And we'll get into the whole ethics and stuff like that here in a moment. But the fact that Adam Silver said that they have uncovered a fair amount of additional information is not good for Ja Morant, right? This guy, you couldn't have just kept your head down. It's so frustrating. But Silver also said, we probably could have brought it to a head now, but we've made the decision that it would be unfair to these players and these teams to announce the decision in the middle of the series, which I completely respect, I completely understand, and I personally believe is the right call, right? You're right in the middle of the beginning of the NBA Finals. Game 1 was just played. You don't want to take the attention away from the Denver and Heat series. You don't want to make the conversation and narrative all about Ja Morant and the decision that the NBA has came down on. The decision is going to happen regardless. You have the entire offseason. Ja Morant might be stewing and kind of just anxiously waiting for the verdict and find out the answer. Maybe he already knows what the answer is. Regardless, who cares? You made the decision. You made the bed. You're going to have to lay in it, right? So, however he feels is to no one's concern. Who cares? You are a grown adult. You made a conscious decision. Even after you got a slap on the wrist about the previous decision, you decided it was a good idea to do it again. So Adam Silver, I think him saying, hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to go about this right now. We're going to wait till after the NBA Finals, and then we'll address it in the offseason, is the right approach. And I personally think the only proper way to handle this is Ja is suspended for at least 1 year, if not longer. Now, again, I know some people look at it and go, he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't break any crime. He didn't commit any crimes. He didn't. And I get that. But he is a public figure that is a representative of an organization that has codes and conducts. And he gets paid millions of dollars, and all he has to do is follow those codes and conducts. There have been thousands of players throughout the course of the NBA that have all been able to follow the same guidelines and conduct. And you have to conduct yourself in a certain manner. Guess what? Even if you work at McDonald's and you do something that they deem is damaging to the brand of McDonald's, then you can lose your job. People have lost their job on decisions that they made, things that they have posted on their, Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. Lots of people. There are news regularly about people that have gotten in trouble and lost their jobs because of decisions that they have made outside of the workplace, because you are a representation of that work environment. Ja Morant is one of the faces of the league. He is one of the young, promising stars. And he is a guy that has to abide by whatever those rules are. If he wants to go on IG and just shoot bullets in the air all day and act like he's game banging and he's a real one, then he has that right. But the NBA doesn't have to let him play in the league. Ja Morant also doesn't have to play in the league. That is a privilege, just like anything else, right? It's not, the NBA doesn't need him. The NBA will be fine without him. There is another guy that'll be drafted this draft that can easily take his place and that they can develop into the next big name. Ja Morant is one of many faces in this league. He is a promising young player, but he's not LeBron James iconic globally, right? So Ja Morant, it needs the NBA more than the NBA needs him. And look, he has hundreds of millions of dollars now. Maybe he looks at it and just says, nah, forget it. I'm going to do what I want to do. Then fine. Go do what you want to do. You have that right. And if you want to act the fool, go ahead. But there is no defending what he's doing. There's also a difference between carrying and brandishing. There is a difference between I have the right to carry a weapon and a firearm, and then there is a difference between actually pulling out and misusing said firearm. He is not a guy that grew up in the struggle. He is not a guy that knows what real hardship is. The guy was not a real game banger growing up. He was not a real gangster growing up. He was none of those things. And he is playing a very dangerous game. And I hate it. I hate to see these young athletes and celebrities and people, period. Even if he wasn't a celebrity. You know, if somebody told me a story of, hey, you know, I have this buddy that is just doing this stuff, I'd be like, that's so unfortunate. Like, he has his whole life ahead of him. But when you talk about a guy like Ja Morant, he's a kid that has the entire world at his fingertips. He won. He won. You watching this video, me, all of us, what are we actively doing right now? We are trying to win. We are trying to win in the game of life. We are trying to reach our goals, reach our heights. I am making a YouTube video. My goal is to be a full-time YouTuber and make a living and a career being a YouTuber. I am working actively every day to make that goal. Ja Morant's goal was to be an NBA player, and he won. He did it. He got his goal, right? And he is willing to throw it all away for what? To act tough? Who cares? You're worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You know, he's out here beating up kids. He's out here trying to be a gangster. Like, for what? Who do you have to prove it to? Nobody cares. You know, like, you don't have to be a tough guy. You've won. Somebody talk shit. Who cares? Good luck to you. I'm gonna go jump in my $100,000 car, go to my $20 million mansion, go talk to my 5 girlfriends, like whatever it is, whatever he's into. You know, I'm gonna go blow 10 grand at the club tonight just because I can. What are you gonna do? Oh, you're gonna jump into your hoopty and like, who cares? Let him talk. Like, you won. It's just such silly, unnecessary behavior. And it's dangerous. Because, one, he's fragile. He is. It's an ego thing. He's fragile mentally. He's fragile egotistically. He's over here fighting minors because they're talking smack, which means people know, oh, you can be pressed. And you don't think people are going to challenge him? You don't think people on the street are going to test him to get a payday? Or worse, you don't think that somebody is going to run up on him and see if he really is about that life? We have lost a lot of just great people over just violence. And we've lost a lot of people that were really those things, were really about it, because they just were in the wrong place or were caught lacking or were sleeping or whatever. You know, look at somebody like Nipsey, right? Like, the guy completely turned it around, was living his life, doing his thing, helping the community, was a real figure in the community. And, you know, R.I.P. Ja Morant, I don't want to see that. I hate seeing it. I hate seeing people act a fool when they don't, especially when they don't have to. Again, you don't know, you're not wondering where your meal's coming from. You're not wondering, how are you going to survive tonight? Where are you going to sleep? You're not living in a place where your electricity is off or your gas is out. taking cold showers. Like, you don't know what struggle is. You didn't grow up in the struggle. Yeah, you sure as hell aren't in the struggle now, and you're out here acting like you are. And for what? So that way somebody sees that and goes, all right, let's see if he's really about it. I really hope it doesn't come to that. I really don't. But this is a pattern now at this point. This wasn't a one-time, oh, it sucks he messed up type thing. You know, this wasn't like a, hey, you know, he just made a poor decision. No, this is who he is. He is living this lifestyle actively. And he's not even smart enough not to post it again. I get it was his friend's IG. His friend was panicking when he pulled out again. It wasn't like Ja didn't know. He's vibing. He's looking at the camera. He's talking to his boy. They're vibing. He's clearly being recorded. He knows he's recording. And then just decides to pull out the strap and wave it around like he's some... It just... Come on. Don't be stupid. Like, come on. It's mind-numbing. Be better than that. Because I don't want to hear... the last thing I want to do is turn on ESPN or something like that and hear Ja Morant, you know, was a victim of a crime. You know, I don't want to hear that. But if he keeps trying to portray this lifestyle, there are people out there that will show you what that lifestyle is. We've seen people do that. I mean, look at like 6ix9ine. For years was running his mouth. Oh, I'm in the streets. I'm this, I'm that. And he got caught lacking in a gym bathroom. And he wasn't acting tough. Like, you know, however you feel about that situation still, it's just like, again, people don't care. You know, people will do what they think they need to do or what they want to do or just to mess with you because people don't have anything better to do. It's just, why are you trying to act a fool? You know, you won. You got what you wanted. You got what you needed. Anyway, I could rant about this all day. I think he gets suspended at least a year. At bare minimum, I think he's suspended the entire year next year. That's my thoughts and opinions. And as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? You know, again, I know this was a bit of a rant, but I do. It sucks. It sucks. I don't want to see this for young men that have achieved great success. You know, just like I wouldn't want my kids or me or anybody. I wouldn't want my friends. I wouldn't want anybody. You know, you watching this, like if I heard you were like, I would tell you the same thing. You know, like it's just not worth it. You only get one shot at this life. Like enjoy it. But anyway, again, love your thoughts and opinions. So let me know.